Got another exciting Roller Coaster Tycoon stream for you tonight, or if you insist on calling it Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, I've got that for you too. So, as usual, I was going to continue on the TSK scenario series, but I saw something on Discord just earlier today that I thought, I want to try and do this. So, I mention him in almost every video I do about Roller Coaster Tycoon. There's a YouTuber by the name of... I'm going to change this over to... Hold on a second. I'm going to change this over to OpenRCT2 because the title sequence for Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 seems to be having a little bit of lag. So I've mentioned Marcel Voss multiple times, like every single stream, and he has a Discord server that I am in quite frequently. Of course, I'm there 100% of the time, but I'm not looking at it 100% of the time. So there is a person, I'm not sure if I want to name them. Well, I guess this is a public server, and, well, I'll just name them. So I can't even pronounce their name. It's spelled Asehujiko. Asehujiko? I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. But they pose the question, does anyone know if it's... And I'm reading this straight from the Discord. Does anyone know if it's possible to beat Razor Rocks with just the starting money, $25,000 if the loan is maxed out, in any iteration of the game? And one of the moderators, that guy responded with, that would be a fun challenge. So far, no one has responded to it other than me. And it was just me asking a question about it. So I thought I would try and do this myself before I actually got into the rest of the video. And before I go for tonight, I will show you what I have been working on recently. I know it's not really my style to show you what I have been working on, like, the latest scenario, but I think this one's kind of special. And I already announced on the same Discord that I was going to be releasing a modified version, so I thought I might as well do it on the stream just so you can see what I've been working on. So, let's get straight into it. I think, Razor Rocks is from Loopy Landscapes, or, it was either called, one of them was called Added Attractions in Europe. I don't remember which one it was. So, hold on a second. Yeah, there we go. So, I thought it looked kind of weird. So, I have, I should point this out because you're probably confused by the multitude of files in here. So there exists reproductions of scenarios from Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. They're just floating around the internet. Oh, I got a notification on eBay. Oh, it's talking about things I'm watching. I was thinking maybe I had sold something. I'm gonna flip my phone upside down so I don't get distracted by it. So there's these reproductions floating around on the internet. They're pretty easy to find. But there's also, of course, the original scenarios, and you can distinguish between the two by their file extension. Scenarios from Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 have the file extension SC4, and scenarios from Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 or Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 have the file extension SC6. And you can see down at the bottom that it tells you which one, or like where my files are located and what the file is titled. So if you, this is not the right scenario. If you happen to use the SC4 files, which implies you have a copy of Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe sitting around, you may notice a few changes. And that was because some of the things in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 Deluxe, or if you just want to call them the 2 expansion packs, didn't make it over into Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. Namely, some custom vertical surfaces, you know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 surfaces didn't make it into Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. And there are a few path types that didn't make it in either. I'm gonna actually have to... Yeah, here's one. Am I in the... Which version am I in? I don't know what version I'm in. No, none here. None in this one. What about this one? Nope. Okay, here we go. I'm surprised that the custom path type is in this, but Chris Sawyer chose not to retexture the walls of the castle. Anyway, I only bring that up because there is a notable difference between the Razor Rocks version from Roller Coaster Tycoon Deluxe and the reproduction, and it's the loan interest. On here, the loan interest is set to 1%, and on the reproduction, it has been set to 5%. Obviously, that's not much of a difference. If you're, for the purposes of this scenario, it may not, or for this contest, whatever you want to call it, it may not make a difference, but I thought I would just point them out. I'm going to go ahead and do it on this one because I think the gray rocks look kind of weird. I'm more used to this one. So as let me go over the rules again. This just says, if it's possible to beat Razor Rocks with just the starting money, $25,000 if the loan is maxed out in any iteration of the game. So, of course, the goal is to have 10 different types of roller coasters operating in your park, each with an excitement value of at least 6. So, this requirement does not require you to have guests in the park because you don't need a certain amount of guests, you don't need a certain income from food or ride tickets, you just have to build some coasters. And you have to do it carefully as to not spend all your money. So my first question was, are there 10 coasters at the start of the scenario? And as you can see, they're not. There are only 9, so we'd have to research them. I'm going to go ahead and turn on Ignore Research Status, and you can see there's plenty of coasters to choose from. But how much money would we spend trying to get to them? So one thing you could do is you could set the minimum. You could set it to minimum funding. You'd only be spending $100 a month. Have no loan, and fast forward the game. And if you wait a really long time, you'll get. Wait a minute. I don't think it matters which funding you do. Because then it's just played out over 4 months instead of maximum funding, which is 1 month. Okay, I take that back. You could do maximum funding if you wanted to. And how long would it take? Well, we start off with 9 coasters and end with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We end with 29. So it would take 20 months to research the 20 coasters if you're doing it at maximum funding. There's 8 months in a year in Roller Coaster Tycoon. So it would take... Oh, you don't even need to... I guess it doesn't really matter how long it takes. More importantly is how much does it cost. So for 20 months at $400 a month, that's $8,000 that we would lose. So I think it would be smarter to make the best use of the roller coasters we already have available. So I'm going to take a sneak peek at what the next coaster is, and you can do that by looking at the inventions list. Okay, so it's the swinging suspended coaster. I think the steeplechase will be annoying to get to 6 excitement, but I think you can get 6 excitement with all of these. It's just a question of, can you do it with $25,000? And that's what I'm going to try and set out to do. So one thing I could just do is I could go for pre-built rides, and actually I think I'm just going to do that. If I can get it with pre-built rides, we can just do that and call it a day. Because the description didn't say how fancy the coasters had to be. They just said couldn't be done. So one thing we can take advantage of is we can... I did see you said howdy. I just didn't know if I needed to respond, I guess. One thing we can take advantage of is you can increase the number of laps, and this will increase its excitement rating. I know if a ride takes a really long time, guests will start to get angry, but that isn't factored into how it calculates excitement. So I think we can, yeah, this will be an easy choice. Unless there's a smarter option, and I don't know if there is. There might be a really good option to begin with. So that's one. I'm not gonna open them because then we'll start getting ride operating costs, and of course we need to save money everywhere we can. Okay, I have yeah, this is the one I wanted. This one we will need to tweak the number of circuits a bit or whatever so that it does get to 6 excitement. Alright, what else have we got? We've got the junior roller coaster. This one I think we're also just going to have to spam laps on and then include a bunch of scenery to get it the rest of the way. The junior coaster is already really cheap. There's one with 6 excitement already, but that's kind of expensive. I think I'm going to save that until the end. Okay, mini roller coaster. Oh. Okay, that was disappointing. Where is, this one has good excitement already. That actually gets us most of the way there. I'm gonna try with this one. And then we'll use scenery to get it the rest of the way there. I have a coaster that my brother designed. It's a pretty simple design. There's nothing super special about it, but it's a cheap design and it gets us to 6 excitement. There are other designs available. I think it, let's see, that excitement isn't high enough. And I think this one's actually about the same price. Okay, so that one's at 6 excitement. I'll go ahead and test this one so you know for sure it's at 6 excitement. We're going through our money pretty quickly, which has me a bit concerned. I don't know how else to do it, though. Ooh. Okay, so that excitement rating was a little deceiving. Let's try a different design. Okay, there's not much of a difference between the small and the middle ground, but in terms of excitement, but we save $1,000. So, oh shoot, we don't have. Do the miniature railroads have? Okay, we do have synchronized with adjacent stations. So this will give us a excitement boost, and then we can spam cattails, or in some versions of the game it's called bull rushes, but I call them cattails. Oh, the excitement on here isn't high enough either, but that's a pretty easy fix. There we go. It's these that I'm the most concerned about. How many laps do we have to put on this until we get a design that works? So I think I'm gonna have to do this one from scratch. So one thing that is really useful is Marcel has compiled a list of every stat requirement for game coasters in the game. So you might notice that sometimes, the coaster looks great, but it gets an excitement rating of like 2. And this is especially with the case with the multi-dimensional coaster, which is a pain to build with. And that's because there are these stat requirements, that's what Marcel calls them anyway, requirements that are things that your coaster needs, and if it doesn't, your excitement will suffer. So, to make sure we're using our money as effectively as possible, I am checking to see what the stat requirements are of the mini coaster. So, looks like there are 4 requirements. It needs a drop of 9 meters, it needs 2 drops, it needs a top speed of 25 kilometers per hour, and it needs 0.5 lateral Gs. So my main concern was if it had a length requirement, and it doesn't. Which means we can build the shortest possible design. The hill's in my way. Maybe not shortest possible design, but it will be a short design. You can see I'm already struggling here as I'm trying to ignore how I build coasters and do it whatever's cheapest. Okay, and then I'm going to put in some hills here to try and get a little bit of extra airtime. And then we'll have to set this to a lot of laps to actually get it to 6 excitement. I will start it out with 5. Okay. Where are we at now? Okay, 4.81. So let's cut it down to 1 train and set it, we'll do this one again to 5 laps. And I'm also going to put some brakes in here because I don't know if having extra laps might screw with how the speed goes. Because we don't want this ride accidentally crashing. There is a cheaper design for the wooden roller coaster. Someone made this on, I've posted it on OpenRCT2.com, and they said this was the cheapest possible design you could make with the wooden roller coaster. So I don't know about, how true that is. But if their claim is true, then we just saved $1,000. We will have to boost the excitement rating, get it to 6, but I'm sure that's doable. To give ourselves an advantage, I'm going to use the articulated trains, which will give a 4% excitement bonus. And of course it gets the bonus from adjacent stations. Okay, now that we have all of our coasters, I'm going to turn off funding. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this coaster to 6 excitement, but we can definitely try. So the comment also said any iteration of the game. And it should be pointed out that one difference, useful for this anyway, between Roller Coaster Tycoon and Open Roller Coaster Tycoon is you can have more than 7 laps. In the original game, you could only have 7 laps. In here, you can go up to 20. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to set these to 20 laps. You know what? I can save a little bit of money by putting these next to each other. They'll be synchronized with themselves. I mean, it's not a ton of money I've saved, maybe $50, but hey, we might need that $50 for something. That barely helped at all. It actually has me a little bit worried. Okay, so it did help a lot for the side friction coaster. I'm going to crank this up to 10. Alright, sure, we'll do 12 just to be safe. Okay, this one has 6 excitement, so we can turn that off. This one has 6 excitement, so we can turn it off. Oh, shoot. That's odd. It seems to not be meeting the stat requirements. Maybe it's because I changed it to the articulated trains. Why I would do that, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it doesn't hit the top speed requirement or something. Yeah, that's odd. If you use the articulated trains, you get the stat penalty. But there we go. That one's at 6 excitement now. So that one will take a while. So how many do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3. I think this one will get there, so that's 4, 5, 6. We're still working on this one. So the ones that are left are the stand-up coaster, the swinging suspended coaster, and the steeplechase. So these are going to be expensive no matter what we do. Because this is just an expensive coaster type. That's odd. I don't have the option of putting multiple laps on this coaster. That's really weird. Why can't I do that? What? Okay, I guess we're stuck doing only 1 lap. I am not sure what that's about. It must be a quirk of the swinging suspended coaster. Or suspended swinging coaster, excuse me. But we do have access to the floorless cars, which will give it an 8% excitement boost. So that will help. Okay, these still aren't done yet. Okay, even with 20 laps, we didn't get quite to... We need still another whole point of excitement. Fortunately, we've got Path to save the day here. So when you put Path in certain locations around a ride, it will get a big excitement boost, depending on how you use it. Okay, so this one, these two are still calculating. Oh, poop. This one also is getting a stat penalty for some reason. Oh, I did change the track there. Maybe that was why. Okay, so this one's already most of the way there. I just need to fiddle with the path some. And put a bunch of these in and hope for the best. I don't know if I've actually gotten the head choppers right. That's what these are. Since this one over here has steep slopes, I'm not able to put the head choppers on it. Yeah, that barely made a difference. And if you use different path types, there's different bonuses for if you use the path in the first slot or if you use a different slot. I don't know why it does that, but it does. You get different bonuses. Okay, so I make absolutely sure I am getting the bonus for synchronized stations, and I am. We'll come back to this. Alright, so we're most of the way there now with the swinging suspended coaster. This will help some. And then I might be able to get us the rest of the way there with some careful path arrangement. There's also, okay, we do have a coaster that can do loops. If you have a track go through the middle of a loop, you get a big excitement boost. Okay, so the swinging suspended coaster is done. The side friction coaster is still testing. I'm going to need to modify this track, actually, because now there's not enough room to put... I made it a one-tile station, which means there's not enough room to do adjacent stations. Which allows you to do... Oops. Okay, so we put this in. That one's still going to be testing for a while. Oh, this one's already got the adjacent stations bonus. Oh, I only set that one to 11 laps. Oh crap, I got, has to be one car on there so we can actually do those 20 laps. I imagine having it go a little bit faster will get extra excitement as well. So what we're going to have to do on these is fit loops in here. I don't know how we're going to do it on this one without doing terraforming. We might have to put the coaster in a different spot. So I'm going to use the wooden roller coaster to put in a few loops. I don't know if I can even do it on this coaster. I don't know how the clearance works with the steep slopes. There may not be room to. And I'm starting to worry that is the case. Alright, so we'll change this design. I'll put the loop in a slightly more convenient place. Try that again. And now we just have to make sure that it's now... How high is this? 16 meters. Okay, that should be good. So, side friction coaster done yet? No, it's still not done yet. Man, this one takes a long time. Okay, so as for... Oh, I know what the problem is. It's still waiting on this one. I think we're going to have to move this one somewhere else. To actually fit the loop in without spending a ton of money. Okay, we'll worry about this one in a bit. Let's do the stand-up coaster first. We're really starting to run out of money here. So imagine... What else do I also have the steeplechase. That's the other one I'm concerned about. None of these are exceptionally short designs. So I'm going to take a look at the table and see what the bare minimum is. Okay, steeplechase needs to be 240 meters long. And a drop of 9 meters. I'm going to have it go through the tunnel here. I think that will give it a small excitement boost. I'm also going to have it go over, build the track directly on top of water. Okay, I don't know if that's long enough. It probably isn't. It needs to be 240 meters, and right now it's only 228. That's an easy enough fix. Set this to one car. Oh, this one can't do multiple laps either. Fantastic. Actually, I think it gets a higher excitement bonus from synchronized stations if you synchronize it with another steeplechase. Ow. 7 minutes. Oh crap. I made the ride way too long, and now we've got a big excitement penalty from the extreme rating. Okay, this one is at 573. I can work with that. If I do any more laps, the intensity rating is going to go over 10. So I'll just work with what we have here. I need to find the sweet spot to put the head choppers in, because it is kind of expensive to build path off the ground. How far does that one get us? Okay, there we go. So I think I can delete these. The mini roller coaster is still going to take a long time to test. How are we doing on this one? Okay. That's actually a really good coaster for how much I spent on it. So we've got, let me see what I can get rid of over here. So I think the loop was about 500. Do I even need that path in there? I might not. Nope, I don't. So I'm going to just take that out and get that money back. Okay, how are we doing over here? So we're already at 5 excitement. That's not bad. So I'm going to add in... I think you can do 2 loops, and then after that, you don't get any more bonuses. These loops are not cheap. Okay, how far does that get us? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We're only at 545. That's so stupid that I can't do multiple laps. Okay, how do we remedy this? I think the bonus from path maxes out at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that already 10? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, that looks like it's already 10. And then we can do the head choppers. $571. Okay, so I think we still have a fighting chance for this. That... what's it called? stand-up coaster is going to be the kicker if we can fit that in. We're also losing quite a bit of money to loan interest. I think we've actually lost almost 1,000. Not quite 1,000, 600. So if I want to get away with it, I think I might give myself that money back. Because it's not a question of can you do it with loan interest, it's just can you do it with the money. Use this over here as well. Okay, we're almost there. 586, and we haven't even used scenery yet. I think we have to use scenery at this point. And we're getting kind of low on those funds. There we go. This one's still testing. I'm going to turn this one off. I'm just gonna... I really want to make sure I get this one right. So I am going to give myself back the money we spent on ride operating costs and loan interest. Okay, this one still needs to be lowered by quite a bit. Unless having that... unless I'm actually hurting myself. I think it was like at 491. So if the excitement is actually going down, then we don't need to worry about it because we don't need guests to actually go on this. We just need that magical number of 6. Okay, so that actually did make a pretty big difference. So let's go to 11. See if we can get it to 6 without adding anything extra. I think we can just add path at this point. There we go, 6 excitement. Okay, so what's left? We've got Junior Coaster, which I talked about. I'm going to build it kind of on the side of a cliff here so we can get through that loop. I will delete these pieces because we don't need them. Poop. Building it underground is really hurting. I've also got issues because of the terrain being in the way. I'll do the do this instead. This is a lot smarter. And then get back up to the station or the rest of the track. I know this is not exciting, or as exciting as my other streams, if you can call my other streams, other Roller Coaster Tycoon streams exciting. But I just really wanted to see if this challenge was possible. How many drops do you need on the junior coaster? You only need one, okay. I'm going to put a break in here. And I think you'll understand why. Okay, so we're going to set this to 10 laps to start with. See how far that gets us. And that just leaves the stand-up coaster. Yeah, this one's done. This one's done. This one's done. So let's see, how much money have we spent on ride running costs? I'm just going to punch all these into my calculator, and that's how much I'm going to give myself back. Actually, this is very inefficient. I will type faster if I can use a keyboard. I know you can't see the numbers I'm putting in. You're just going to have to trust me that I am not cheating. In fact, I am rounding down, and because I'm too lazy to put in these 20 cents. Okay, so that's actually a substantial amount of money. That's 1.8K. So I am going to clear the loan so we don't have to worry about loan interest anymore. And then I'm going to add that much money to my account. So we have $2,000 left to build another coaster, or to attempt to research another coaster that's easier to do. So I'm going to take another look at the inventions list. So we've got the bobsled coaster, the Heartline Twister coaster. Oh no. No. I'd run out of money before I can get to one. Oh, wait a minute. Apparently I unlocked the Mine Train coaster without even meaning to. I don't know which one of these would be cheaper, the Mine Train coaster or the stand-up coaster. Well, either way, we have a very, very tight budget to work with. So we need to figure out where we can improve, what stuff we can take out, etc. I think somewhere in here there's an option to disable ride operating costs. I don't see it though. I could have sworn that there was an option that allowed you to do that. Nope, I guess that's not an option. So I'll just set it back to 2,000 once we're done. Okay. I might be able to get there without too much effort. Let's see if I can do 20. How far we get with 20. Okay, so we do need that loop. We're going to come down to every single penny. I don't want to spend a cent more than I have to. Why am I not getting excitement bonuses from this? Okay, there we go. Okay. So, now we're going to see, I'm going to set this back to 2,000. Oh, not 2,000. And now we're going to see how much money we can squeeze out of the remaining things. And it's mainly going to be by doing stuff like deleting path. Alright, looks like that's all we can do for this one. This one's already at 610, so it can't go down by much more. I know I'm losing a lot of money as the time is set to fast forward, but I can check how much money was spent on things like landscaping. Which, to be honest, is not going to be much. Okay, that looks like... How far did I get with the steeplechase? We just barely passed it. So how much money do I get to give myself? And when did I give myself that giant increase in cash? I don't remember. Let's just say from the path I got $150. And that's it. That's all the money I have to work with. To be honest, I don't know if I can build... Well, what is the cheapest stand-up option? Okay, so you can build it. But can you get it to enough excitement? Well, if I am careful, I might be able to... Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I can already build it somewhere so it goes in between those loops. Problem is that doing so puts it in an awkward position, and that dramatically increases the cost of the ride. Okay, that's an increase of $200. And I would not... I am saving a lot of money by reusing one of these loops because it would cost me another $400 to build another one. I think what I'm going to have to do is build my own and just mimic it. So I need to get it right. So it's a drop height of 9 meters. Right now we're at 7.5. Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of. That stuff is going to get in our way. I'm going to move this footpath to somewhere else. Actually, if I don't test the ride, it won't recalculate. So I can kind of get away with that. Okay. And now, our final question of the day is, can I get this stand-up coaster to 6 excitement with the very limited amount of cash I have left? And now I didn't leave room to put in to make it synchronized station, so I have to put in another station tile. Okay. And why is I have to figure this out. Oh, my drop height isn't enough. So I'm getting, that needs to go all the way down to the ground. You can see it really is coming down to every single cent. Fortunately, I can take away this path because the stats won't recalculate unless you retest the ride. Oh, poop. Okay. So now we need to find that magic number. Okay, we did it! Now we just have to... We have 10 coasters, right? Maybe they all have to be... I don't know. If I open this ride, it's going to recalculate, and I won't get my stats. But it may be okay because I've added all this extra stuff in. I think it might require that I have all the rides open. And it's okay if we go into debt because I think I've built everything at this point. And if not, I can give myself 20 cents again. Okay, how many rides do I have open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that one doesn't count. That was a mini railroad. Okay, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do they all have to be fixed or something? So this one's enough. This one's enough. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. It's considering this coaster and this coaster to be the same, even though, as you can see, they are classified as 2 different rides. Or it may be thinking this coaster and this coaster are the same thing. So I don't know how to fix that. That's a quirk with the game engine. But I would say that I have 10 distinct coasters. This one is clearly different from this one because, I mean, look at it. They're separate tracks and they don't share the same ride designs. Unless one of these actually has gone down and is no longer at 6 excitement, which I think it is. And I know people aren't going to say I did it unless I get the screen that says you won. And I don't know what to do about that because this is a quirk of the game engine and not me having a bad strategy. Unless you really want to count these as the same ride. And if you do, then you're just wrong. Because these are clearly two different ride types. Well, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know if this was possible. And I've shown that if you want to go by my rules and you say that these are two different coasters, then I've done it. If you insist that I make two different coasters, which I'm not going to do because I think this is good enough, I'm just going to give myself the win here and call it a day. So, from my perspective, it is possible. If you want to get much more technical, it still hasn't been proven yet. But I think my answer is good enough, and that will answer this guy's question. I'm going to save this. Razor Rocks. I'm going to put in cheated win. Closed park. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So now I'm going to show you my latest scenario